Today, we're diving into a huge consumer movement that's taking on the entire video game industry. And it's asking some really big questions about what it even means to own something in the digital age. This is all about the fight to stop killing games. Okay, let's just start with a question. Imagine you buy something, you pay for it, you take it home, but then, a little while later, the company you bought it from basically reaches into your house and just destroys it, makes it totally useless. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not. For thousands of gamers who bought the online racing game The Crew, that's pretty much exactly what happened. The publisher, Ubisoft, just pulled the plug, and the game they paid good money for was just gone. Forever. So how is that even possible? How is it legal? To really get it, we need to dig into the heart of the problem. It all comes down to this idea of server-based games. See, a lot of modern games, even the ones you play by yourself, aren't actually running completely on your console or PC. They have to constantly connect back to the publisher's main computers, their servers, just to work. So here's the kicker. When a publisher decides it's not making them enough money to keep those servers on, they can just switch them off. And when that happens, the game doesn't just lose its online features. It becomes a digital paperweight. It is, as the campaigners say, completely destroyed. This whole thing, as you can imagine, caused a massive backlash. It's summed up perfectly by the petition that launched in response. They called it a radical assault on consumer rights and even the concept of ownership itself. I mean, those are strong words, but it's a pretty strong move by the company.
But here's the thing. Gamers didn't just get mad online. They got organized. And that's where this fight really kicks into high gear.
The Stop Killing Games movement was kicked off by YouTuber Scott Ross. It's a classic grassroots, consumer-led thing, born out of this feeling that something was just deeply, deeply unfair. And the response? It was huge. I mean, the petition just exploded, getting more than 1 million signatures. It really tapped into this widespread feeling that the way digital games are sold is just, well, it's broken.
And their goal is incredibly specific and honestly pretty ambitious. They're not just trying to get a single company to change its mind. No, they want to create actual laws in Europe that would make it illegal for publishers to destroy games that people have already paid for. But to really understand why people are so passionate about this, you have to realize that this is about way more than just one racing game. To get some real perspective on this, we can look at the work of Bob DeSchutter. He's a game designer and a professor at Northeastern University, and he really helps put this whole thing into a much bigger context.
Okay, this right here gets to the absolute heart of the matter. On the left, you've got the old way of doing things. You buy a book, you buy a DVD, it's yours, period. But on the right, that's our new digital reality. You're not actually buying the game. You're just buying a license to play it. And buried in the fine print, it usually says that license can be taken away at any time. And this really lays out the deeper stakes. It's so much more than just a product. It's about losing a piece of your personal history, your nostalgia. It's about entire online communities getting wiped out overnight. It's a huge threat to preserving our digital culture for the future. And of course, it's a massive blow to our rights as consumers.
Professor DeSchutter just captures the human side of this so well. He says games often hold deep nostalgic and emotional value, so there's a strong sense of betrayal when servers shut down. See, it's not just about the money. It's about emotion, memories, and the connections we make. So, with all this passion, with over 1 million signatures, does this movement actually have a shot at winning? Well, the answer might just be in Europe, where this whole fight could be about to level up.
The petition's next big step is the European Commission. And that is a big deal. This could be the tipping point, the moment where the rules around digital ownership are seriously challenged at a huge regulatory level for pretty much the first time. And for anyone who's feeling skeptical, Professor DeSchutter points to something really important that's happened before. He says this whole thing reminds him of the big fight against loot boxes in games, which also started with pressure from European consumers and ended up forcing massive changes across the entire industry. So history shows us this kind of thing can absolutely work. All of this, the game getting shut down, the petition, the potential new laws, it all leads us to a much, much bigger conversation about what ownership even means anymore. But, of course, it's not simple. As Professor DeSchutter points out, there are some real challenges here. I mean, forcing companies to keep servers running forever costs a lot of money. And what about the environmental cost? All those servers using up energy just to keep every single game ever made alive. The final solution, whatever it is probably going to be pretty complex.
And that leaves us with this one final massive question. The fight over the crew might seem like it's just about video games, but it's really a preview of a much larger battle that affects all of us. In a world of streaming movies, digital books, and downloaded software, what do we actually own? And who gets to decide when the things we paid for just disappear?